Hey everybody, how are you today? It is Monday, it is 7 p.m. We are here in Newport Richey, Florida at the WeBeam TV headquarters, and we are here for the 9th episode of WeBeamTV.com. So we're going to do a little synopsis of what this show is, and then we're going to get right to this because this is going to be a great show. So for those of you that haven't watched before, I want you to know that 62 Who Knew is really going to... Okay, 62 Who Knew is really it's not about one particular thing. And truthfully, it's not about just people that are 62. It is actually about people that are probably in that 55 to 65 range, but nothing really rhymes that good with 55 to 65. It was like, I'm 65 and I'm still alive. That doesn't sound good. 62 Who Knew sounds good. And the truth of the matter is, we're going to discuss on this show for many years to come, I hope, the double-edged sword, the mixed blessing of longer lifespans. Today's generation that is turning 62, I just turned 60, 10,000 people a day in the United States of America are turning 62 years old. 10,000 people a day for the next 18 years. That's incredible. Every generation that comes to retirement faces the same problems. Did I save enough? Did I put away enough? Am I healthy enough? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? But this generation, 10,000 people a day for the next 18 years, they're facing an obstacle that no other generation has ever faced, and that is the longest lifespans we have ever seen. Medical technologies, breakthroughs, cures has just literally changed the world in the last 2 to 3 decades. And now when you make it to 62 to 65, you have better than a 50-50 chance of making it to 90. And with more breakthroughs even coming through in the next decade, that number is going to turn probably into 100. We're going to talk about that with our guest who's right next to me. You just don't see him yet. So today's show, let's get to that today. I won't say as a continuation of 3 weeks ago, but 3 weeks ago we had this incredible show. We had a national director from Israel, of the Weizmann Institute, to talk about the staggering breakthroughs that institute has been involved in the last 20, 30 years. And one of our main topics was, in fact, stem cell research. So today, we have right here in the studio, usually we're beaming somebody in from all over the country or maybe even from Israel. But today, right here with us in the studio, and we're going to go to a wide shot right now, is Dr. Jason Cohn from my producer went, turn your head, look at the wide shot. Dr. Jason Cohn from Regenerative, I'm having trouble saying regenerative, say it, Jason.
Regenerative.
Regenerative Health Centers. Right now, 5 offices, 2 more opening, 25 to 30 doctors and support staff. And this is not an institute on the other side of the world. This is somebody that is doing stem cell therapy right now. And to me, this is amazing. Eliminating pain and discomfort, muscle joint pain, neck, back, ankle, leg, helping people with arthritis. Our last guest is actually going to be a person who's going to have a personal story to tell us. People walking in with walkers and walking out without walkers. So again, to me, this is staggering. It's the future of medicine is right now. I'm living it. I get to introduce people. So everybody, welcome Dr. Jason Cohn.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. A Jewish doctor. I mean, who would have thought, right? And do you know what you call a Jewish man that's not a doctor? An attorney. Did you know that?
My dad's an attorney.
Your dad's an attorney. And there you go. So Jason, first, before we get into stem cells, what is regenerative healing and therapy?
So regenerative medicine is basically a genre of medicine that's being offered now to patients. The great thing about regenerative medicine is how it is tackling medicine and how it's coming towards the patient. It comes in a different perspective. So what we're actually trying to do with regenerative medicine is restore and rehabilitate the damaged tissue. A lot of what medicine is today is going after the symptoms and helping with the pain. And I understand that. I want to help with your pain as well. But what we have to do is get down to what's causing the pain. And that's really what regenerative medicine is about. Regenerating and helping restore function into those damaged and diseased tissues so you can start getting your life back as a patient.
You are literally regenerating cells? Is that what stem cells is, or am I my science fiction in me is just taking over.
So that's a portion of it. So what stem cells do is they do a variety of different things. So stem cells do three major things within the body. One of those things is actually helping regenerate tissue. So it can help with the regeneration of tissue that has been damaged or diseased. The other two things that they do is they also modulate the immunity. Our immune system is our defense system.
Right.
And so that's what happens, that's what we utilize when we're trying to help with the healing process. So stem cells actually will help our body heal structures better because we're using our own immune system to do so. And the last thing that stem cells are great at doing is helping with inflammation. Inflammation is the primary cause of pain and discomfort within our body, and stem cells have a unique trait of being able to reduce inflammation within our body.
That's incredible. I got to take 5 seconds because I did forget to mention, but I don't want to take any time away from Dr. Cohen. This is the first time we are streaming live on Facebook. If you want to go to the 62 Who Knew page, and the only reason I'm telling you that, you're already watching, you don't have to, but if you do have any questions, I don't know if we'll have time for them, because I really want to find out more about this. It's intriguing to me, but at least you could answer questions maybe after the show if people will, you know,
of course.
So please, if you have any questions, go to 62 Who Knew on Facebook. You can see the show and ask Dr. Cohen any questions. All right, so we know what it is now. Now, in layman's terms, what is a stem cell? What is stem cell therapy?
Okay.
I mean, you sort of just did, I know.
So in layman's terms, we need to understand what a stem cell is to understand stem cell therapy. So within our body, we have a variety of different types of cells, whether it be a muscle cell or whether it be, you know, a liver cell or intestinal cell or a nerve cell. So we have all of these different types of cells in our body. What a stem cell is basically a precursor cell or a master cell. So think about before our cells differentiate into all those different classes, it's the origin of the first cell. These are actually what the stem cells are. And so it's this blank precursor cell that's produced by our body that has all these unique traits, because as a stem cell, it has the ability to convert or differentiate into any of the different cells within our body. So it can convert into muscle cells, it can convert into nerve cells, it can convert into really whatever our body needs it to convert into, because that's what stem cells do. The great thing about it is stem cells have been with us from the beginning of time. We're all born with them, so it's something that's innate in each one of us that we all have.
That's incredible. Now, one of the things that, and I don't want to touch on it too much because it's more of the 10,000-foot view, and you're giving us the patient I can help you today view, which is, I think, staggering about today's show, and that's what I love about it, is the man from Weizmann Institute actually spoke about that they're now able to take a stem cell maybe out of your shoulder or out of somewhere and literally strip it down to its original molecular structure and then put it back in another part of the body. That, to me, again, is pure Star Trek 23rd century, although that's now.
Yeah, I mean, that's here and now. They're doing that on, you know, on a regular basis at clinics across the nation. That type of stem cell that you're talking about is an autologous stem cell. So it's using your own body's stem cells to help with healing. And what we found is that's very, very effective for the younger generation. So I know this is the 62 Who Knew. So
no, but we want to help everybody.
Yeah, so for the autologous ones are definitely going to be great for the younger generations. The reason is the younger you are, the more healthy your stem cells are, the more stem cells that you have. And so using your own stem cells to help with healing is something great, you know, when you're younger, healthy, active. But one thing that we noticed is as we age, our stem cells do decrease. So what we're actually utilizing in our clinic is what's called an umbilical cord stem cell, or a HUCT cell, human umbilical cord tissue cell. Because what we found is the potency and the cell count that we can find in those is much higher, and it just helps us get more effective results with patients.
And I also want to thank you for being my 8th guest. That makes me feel like a moron.
Hey.
Yes, I bring on guests, and it really is a pleasure. It truly is, but sometimes I have to remind myself that I am the host, because I feel like just going, Really? This is really good. But continue on. I know there are different types of stem cells, but who is a good candidate for this? You just mentioned that younger people, which is great. We're 62, who knew, but that's okay.
So who is a candidate depends on the type of stem cell that you're getting. Like I was saying, with the autologous or the bone marrow stem cells, they're going to be mainly utilized on younger, healthier individuals who can handle, the minor surgery that's required to access them, and then can use them for therapy. We use the human umbilical cord. The great thing about the human umbilical cord tissue is that makes anybody a candidate. What we're doing is we're putting day zero cells into a patient. So these are basically stem cells that we get from an umbilical cord that we're utilizing for health benefits within the patient, and that allows us to do treatment on really anybody. So it doesn't matter about age, it doesn't matter about sex, it doesn't matter about ethnicity. Anybody has access, or anybody is an available candidate for stem cell therapy.
All right, we have roughly about 15 seconds left. I hate that segments go so quick when we have somebody like you. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back. I do have some questions about the umbilical cord, again, because I've always read there's so much in there. But let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
One bee that loves going to the dentist. I am Dr. B.
At Dr. B Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the individuality of each child
And they also teach us how to take care of our teeth.
and offer an exceptional and gentle dental care experience for all children. With our laser procedures, we are able to provide gentler treatments and faster healing time.
Come meet Dr. B.
A bee cavity free.
Call Dr. B's Pediatric Dentistry today.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
My name is Ann Rogers, and I'm a real estate agent and broker in Pinellas County and have been for over 24 years. Ann Rogers Relocation Resources provides a full array of services to help you or your loved one transition gracefully to a new residence or adult living community. Our first consultation is free and with no obligation. Please visit our website or call to talk to me directly.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
And we're back. And we're back, and the producer told me to look into the wrong camera. So I was doing that. It was his fault, not mine. Usually it's me. He just said, sucker. Okay, I want to ask a question. I want to get back to different types of stem cells because that's enthralling to me. But I also want to talk about the umbilical cord. Please don't laugh. You have umbilical cord stem cells in your refrigerator there, or is this, are you going into the person's belly button getting, where are they coming from? I just don't get it.
Okay, so all of the umbilical cord cells that we use are donated through strict informed medical consent. So it's basically post-birth. What happens in the hospitals, if you have a healthy mother and a healthy baby, and they're tested and they're both healthy and it's a full-term birth, what they'll do is they'll give you the option to either keep your umbilical cord, which most patients do not do because they don't have any usage for it, or they donate the umbilical cord. Most patients donate the umbilical cord because they really have no usage for it. Once that tissue has been donated, it goes to a tissue bank, just like any other liver, kidney, organ within our body. And then the tissue bank is what tests these cords out to make sure that there's healthy, viable, living cells in there, and that the cells are disease-free. Once they have found that out, they use a process to actually take the cord blood out of there and actually use the stem cells from that cord blood that can be utilized with patients. And so that's the type of stem cell that we utilize at our clinic, is these umbilical cord stem cells. And the reason why is because they have some cellular components to them that the other stem cells don't have. So one of the reasons why we like it is because there's no HLA factor. HLA is human leukocyte antigen. It's what our body actually produces to reject certain organs. So whenever we're getting a blood transfusion or you know, an organ transplant, we always have to watch out for our body rejecting those cells. And the way they do that is by little markers that our body puts on the organs to let us know if they're friendly or not. So whenever we're talking about certain stem cells, we have to watch out for that. But the great thing about the umbilical cord stem cells is there is no HLA factor on it. So your body is not going to have a chance to reject it. It's going to accept it and be able to utilize it for your benefit.
Two quick questions on that particular topic. Has there been, for lack of better words, a trend the last 10, 20 years for people to go, yes, we do want to keep the umbilical cord and freeze it? I know that's expensive, but isn't that a tremendous help? God forbid if your child, you know, does develop a cancer or leukemia, or are people doing that? I know years ago, as little as 10 years ago, I was reading about it and thought back, oh my God, my children are older now. Should I have done that?
Certain people are doing it. So it is becoming, as you could say, a trend with certain patients and things like that. But a lot of people aren't doing it. The reason is because of the cost factor.
Yeah.
To store these, you're going to have to rent space in a tissue bank that they'll store it. These are stored at a negative temperature to keep the integrity of the tissue. And you're going to be paying similar to like a storage unit fee to maintain that over the course of years before you use it. If you ever use it. And then it's still going to cost you money to then utilize those cells, because you're going to have to extract the cells from the umbilical cord. So it ends up being quite costly. So most patients are not saving their own, and they're just donating them to you know, a tissue bank, and then the tissue bank is utilizing those cells for the patients.
This may be an unfair question, but and I agree. Obviously, most people are not doing it for the cost factor. You know, you're not throwing the umbilical cord, you know, in the freezer next to the popsicle.
Exactly.
With technology today, being able to start with the raw pre-life stem cell of an umbilical cord, is that almost as good as if you would have saved your own child to help them?
Well, here's the great thing about the umbilical cord is these cells have not come in contact with the baby or the fetus whatsoever. So it doesn't really matter if it's your own kid or if it's, you know, somebody from the tissue lab. They all have the same exact genetic qualities and the same healing factors. So it's really unnecessary to save your own nowadays because you have the ability to access them through different tissue banks and things like that.
That's incredible. All right, and so again, as we go further with this, let's get just a little teeny more specific about different types of stem cells. I mean, we have mentioned, we talked beforehand. You know, you sent me stuff. I want to appear a little knowledgeable about what you're doing with your guests. There's a difference between a neck injury, a back injury, an elbow injury. I mean, again, to me, arthritis. I don't have arthritis, but I have very close friends and people in the family that do. These are all different types of stem cells you'd be using.
No.
No.
So for any type of arthritic pain, we always utilize the umbilical cord stem cells at our clinic. So those are the only types of stem cells we utilize at our clinic. And there's a variety of different reasons, similar to what I was talking about with the HLA factor. Another reason why we like to use the umbilical cord stem cells is because there's no cellular debris. When you're taking it out of the umbilical cord, it allows us to get, pure stem cells without any of the other gunk or junk that might come along with it when we're extracting stem cells from a different manner or a different way. So that's why we like to use the umbilical cord stem cells, and those stem cells have the ability to help with a variety of different conditions as well.
Is there, I know a few of my friends, as we get up there in years, and several of us have some section or some type of diabetes. Can this type of therapy help with neuropathy, with pain in the feet? Does this help that too?
Yes. So with the neuropathy is basically a nerve issue.
Yes.
So you're having nerve issue usually related to the extremities, whether it be the hands or the feet. So like I was saying, the stem cells can actually help with a variety of different conditions, not just musculoskeletal like your knee that you hear about with the arthritis. It can actually even help with the neuropathic pains and the different issues, because the great thing with the stem cells is they can differentiate, like we were talking about, into all of those different cells of our body, which means that they can help with a variety of those different structures and different conditions.
I have a couple of people that I hope are watching right now that I love dearly, that are suffering from, doing some real suffering with neuropathy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you better be watching. You're both family members, so you're supposed to be watching my TV show anyway. But please notice up on the screen, I'll say this a few times, we don't do 62 who knew to sell things. We do it to educate. But you can help so many people. I mean, you can help people tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So here is their information, here is their name. I think we are going to probably pop up your website later as well. But here is the way to get a hold of Dr. Cohn at the Institute. And this is the way you do it. Take this number down. We're not even close to done. So what is the most common condition that you see there? I mean, people obviously coming in with a variation of pain, but what's the most common condition?
Most common condition has to be, joint issues. Yeah. So whether it be your knee, whether it be your hip, or your lower back, we see tons of different joint conditions coming in. A lot of people, as they're aging, hitting that 62, are getting that. Who knew? Are getting that arthritic changes and things like that. And so as they're aging, one of the things with the medical model that we're dealing with that's an issue is the medical model isn't really offering a lot for those degenerative changes. When you're going to your doctor, really what are they doing to help with your condition? Most of the times it's medications, it's shots, whether it be cortisone or epidurals and things like that. But if you're looking down at it, what is that actually doing to correct your issue? Or what is that doing to help your problem? A lot of those are actually just masks. They help a lot with the symptomatology, but don't actually help with the causation. And what we see a lot with this medical model is it's a prolonging. Hey, we're going to give you this cortisone shot today. It's not going to correct your issue, but this should help you with the pain for the next 3, 6, whatever months. And then eventually, we're going to need to get you in here and do a surgery or more shots or more pills. What regenerative medicine is doing is it's giving them another option. It's getting down to the causations of their musculoskeletal pains and helping them, get down to what's causing it and help regenerate and heal those specific tissues. So it doesn't have to be a long-term issue. It doesn't have to be something we're prolonging until you get surgery. It could be something that we take care of today.
That's fantastic. Good, I wasn't on camera when I was writing, because I'm learning from you, so I'm writing down things for relatives, friends. Sometimes my guests say things, and most of my guests, and you're no exception, are much more intelligent than I am. But you're right. You go to the doctor, they do treat, and I'm reading this, the symptomatology. Yeah, okay, but not the causality. And you guys are getting right to the cause. And that really is kind of amazing. It just truly is. It's not go take this to get rid of the pain, so you think you feel better. You're actually fixing the problem.
Yeah, get down to healing the structures that are initiating, the pain or initiating the symptoms, as opposed to just addressing those symptoms. That's going to allow you to have much more relief in terms of the way that you're feeling and much more function. A lot of the times when we're talking about painkillers, you're actually causing the joint or the area to have more damage. Pain is something that our body uses as like a check engine light, kind of like a warning sign that's saying, hey, something's going on, I don't like what you're doing. So when you're doing an activity and you're feeling pain, that's your body saying stop it. When you're taking painkillers, that disrupts our cycle. That it doesn't allow your body to tell you when to stop, and which can actually cause you to continue doing aggravating activities and making the underlying structure even much worse than it could be if you knew what to do about it.
And it is really amazing. We learned this probably in our 50s and 60s. It really is amazing how when you call your doctor, who you trust, and my doctor, I just love my doctor. She's been my doctor for a while. But a lot of times you do get the answer, those are aches and pains, you're getting older, that's life. And that may not be specifically the correct answer you want. I know it's not the answer you want to hear, but it may not be the right answer anymore thanks to stem cell technology.
Oh yeah, I mean, the future of medicine is now. You said that kind of to start this show, and that is so true. We are now addressing conditions and coming at the perspective of the condition in a completely different line of sight and thought process, and that's what's really helping us, with these patients, getting these different results that we weren't even looking for before. So age is nothing but a number nowadays, specifically with all the health modalities out there. I mean, you can literally have the age be in the 70s and 80s, and your body be running like you're in your 40s and the 30s. I mean, if you're taking good enough care of yourself with all of the medicine out there today.
That's always the caveat. That expression, again, I think as you get older, the expression age is only a number, that expression becomes more annoying, I think, as you get older, because reality is age is a chronological measure of being closer to death. Not that I think I'm close to death, I'm not. But again, your technology, not yours personally, is expanding that so incredibly. Again, one of the things that we talked about off camera with the Weizmann Institute, as he asked me how old my grandchildren were, and I said, 12, 5, and 8 months. And he looked at me, this was off camera, and said, Michael, your grandchildren will be playing tennis in the heat of summer in Florida when they're 100 years old. That's, and of course the ramifications, which we won't get into today, but it's one of the reasons I created 62 Who Knew. The ramifications of us living to be 100 or 110 is kind of staggering for the planet. Population, real estate, food. How much are insurance premiums going to be if they're not going to cover us for 20 years? They're going to cover us for 50. And are people going to retire at 80 instead of 62 or 65? Are you going to get Social Security for 50 years? We can't even fund it now. So we'll discuss that on a future episode, but there's no way to get around the fact that today being the future of medicine, what really does the future? We still have a lot more things to talk about in the third segment. There's only about 45 seconds left of this segment. I am interested in how somebody as young as you, I know you're a little older, I already asked your age and you're older than you look, but you're still very young, how you got into this, what interested you. Again, I want to also touch on, are there next steps coming that you know about that obviously laymen like me and my viewers don't know about? What's next? So we probably got about 10 seconds left. Again, here we are. This is how you contact Dr. Cohn. We'll be right back for our third segment. Thank you so much.
One bee that loves going to the dentist. I am Dr. B.
At Dr. B Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the individuality of each child.
And they also teach us how to take care of our teeth.
And offer an exceptional and gentle dental care experience for all children. With our laser procedures, we are able to provide gentler treatments and faster healing time.
Come meet Dr. B.
I'll be calorie-free.
Call Dr. B's Pediatric Dentistry today.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
My name is Ann Rogers, and I'm a real estate agent and broker in Pinellas County and have been for over 24 years. Ann Rogers Relocation Resources provides a full array of services to help you or your loved one transition gracefully to a new residence or adult living community. Our first consultation is free and with no obligation. Please visit our website or call to talk to me directly.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
All right, we're back in our third segment with Dr. Jason Cohen. So before we get back to pure stem cells, I mean, it's got to be staggering to see people come in with a walker and come out without it. People come in pain and walk out without it. So that gives me the chills, and you know, and I've never even seen it. But how does somebody your age get involved? And so, oh, I guess maybe that's normal because you're reaching for the future.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm home with my abacus going through.
As we're graduating, new technology is coming out, so we're constantly learning it. We're on the cusp of all of the cutting edge therapies. But the reason I actually got into stem cells was through a patient. I was working basically as a lead physician at a conservative therapy clinic. It's Knee and Neuropathy Centers of Florida. We were doing therapies on different type of musculoskeletal pains and problems that patients were dealing with. And one of our patients actually came in, and he's a great guy, older individual, but in that 62 and new kind of age group, but he's active. He doesn't want to stop, and he actually came into our clinic after he had surgery. He had surgery on his hip, he had surgery on his knee. He didn't have as successful of a surgery as he would have liked. He was still having residual pains on that side, but he was also having pain on the other side. So he elected that he didn't want to go through surgery on that, and he wanted to kind of search for an alternative way to help himself out. So he was coming to the clinic, and we were doing therapies on him, on a routine basis to begin with, and he was seeing, great results. I mean, he was seeing, decreased pain, increased function, but with his activity level, he would be kind of re-injuring it. Exactly, re-injuring it. So he would be coming in, every month or couple of months to, get some more treatment on that area. And so eventually, what he did was he was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, you guys are doing great, but I'm looking for something more long term. I'm looking for something that's really going to, heal the cause of my pain instead of just helping me out with my symptoms." And so that's where he started looking for. And then he ended up, finding a doctor who's doing stem cells. And he thought, hey, this is a potential avenue that I want to try. So he asked me what my thoughts were at the time. I said, hey, if you think it's going to be something.
How long ago was was this?
This was around 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, just around 2 years ago. And so he said, hey, you know, if this is something, you know, you want to go through with, hey, go for it. Let me know how you do, and I'll be here to support you, you know, either way throughout whatever happens. And so he ended up going and getting the stem cells done, and he had tremendous relief. It was absolutely amazing. He wasn't needing, you know, any ongoing care.
Right.
He can do the activities that he liked. One of his big things was boating and fishing. And so after a long day out on the boat, that's when, you know, he would hurt
Right.
it. He's been able to go boating. He's been able to go fishing. He's been able to do all the things that he loves to do, and he hasn't had that residual pain come back. So of course, me, you know, seeing this, I'm intrigued. What in the world did you do?
Right.
How in the, like, what is going on? So he got me in contact with the doctor that performed it on him.
Was it this place?
It was with Dr. Scott Gray, and so
Okay.
I was able to, you know, converse with him and see what was going on and see the therapies he was able to offer to his patients. And I said, this is amazing. This is something that we have to start being able to integrate into our clinics. So I started studying about it more and more to find out how we can start, you know, utilizing this with our patients. And that's what kind of got the ball rolling
Right.
towards this. And after more and more studying, it just gets me more and more
just hopped over
excited.
there.
Oh, I did? It gets me more and more excited.
No, I'm talking, you just went over to this.
Oh.
Eventually you left where you were and came here?
Oh, yeah. And so what we ended up doing is, yeah, we ended up partnering with them. Regenerative Health Centers basically took over a lot of our clinics.
Oh, okay.
And what we're doing is now we're offering stem cells to our patients in this area. It's something that's absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy to be a part of and being able to, you know, give that back to our community, specifically how I've seen it help, you know, our patients. It's absolutely amazing.
And you have 5 locations now. Where are they? Do you know them?
Yes, so we have 5 locations in Florida currently. We're actually going to be building 2 more soon. So our locations are here in Hudson, Florida. We have one. We also have one that's going to be located in Clearwater, Florida.
Okay.
We have one that's in Tampa, Florida, and we also have one that's in Sun City Center, Florida. So we have a variety of different locations in this area. Our 5th location in Florida is actually in the Fort Myers area.
Okay.
And if you're not in those areas, we are expanding. We do have one clinic that's being built in Bradenton, and one clinic that's going to be going in like South St. Pete area.
So Fort Myers is your furthest south?
Furthest south currently at this moment is Fort Myers.
All right. Any future thoughts possibly of Naples?
Potentially. I mean, it's always in the
There's very
mix.
old people live here in Pinellas County. Their parents actually live in Naples.
Oh.
So you really want to go to Naples.
It's going to be something that we're expanding to. The major thing is, you know, finding great docs.
Yes.
That you know are utilizing, you know, what we're doing.
And are open to not having it's got to be people your age, because the old doctors are great. You can't beat experience sometimes. But the truth is, a lot of them are set in their ways and are not going to be open-minded to this. Maybe I'm over-speaking. I hope not.
Well, there's doctors all across the board. I mean, there's a lot of old doctors. I mean, the research for stem cells has been out there for, you know, 40-plus years. And so it's something that's been around. We've been doing research at, you know, on the national level through government funding, as well as on, you know, local levels and individual clinics for years. So it's something that's been around. So even the older doctors are aware of stem cells and are aware of the benefits of it. Obviously, you know, with some of the younger doctors, they're more into the cutting-edge therapies, so they're kind of transitioning or moving that needle in terms of overall medicine towards this more futuristic, like you were kind of talking about, style that we're seeing nowadays with all of, you know, the laser surgeries and all of that.
Yeah, so regenerative health centers has literally helped thousands of people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
course.
exaggerating.
No
Thousands.
exaggeration at all.
And not just in Florida. They come from all over the country, and I've heard you've had people visit you from outside the country.
Oh, yes. I mean, we have people traveling from around the United States to, you know, get care with us at our clinic. We've actually had people from other countries fly here to access care at our clinic. I mean, we've had people from Africa, Russia. We've had a couple people from Europe come in. We've had people from South America. It's really, really amazing to see.
It really is.
What people are doing to help themselves, you know, get better. And it's amazing that they're choosing us as their facility that they want to do this with. And so it's been a blessing, you know, for us in the clinic. And I'm just happy that we're able to help out, you know, so many patients.
It really is amazing. I mean, people traveling from all over, they couldn't be coming, let's face it, to a nicer place. They are coming to Florida. And of course, because of our viewership growing over the last 8-9 weeks, mostly thanks to incredible guests like this. Whether you're watching in Florida, a fraction of our viewers are in Florida. They're all over the country. We also have viewers outside the country. Please, it's up here. It's on the screen. There's just no reason to suffer anymore. I mean, there is probably one or two generations that actually are, you know, I'm getting older, I'm supposed to have these aches and pains. You know, the neck's supposed to hurt. The discs are supposed to be closer together. I do have to go to the chiropractor 3 times a month. You know, that's just my life. Doesn't necessarily have to be anymore.
No, not anymore. Medicine's changing. We want you to feel, you know, as good as you can feel and do the things that you want to do. You know, if you want to go out there and play with your grandkids, you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And stem cells are really getting down to the root causes of it and helping you guys feel better as patients and be able to do those activities that you want to do.
Absolutely. This is so great. You've got to be just happy to go to work every day. You have a smile on you had a smile on your face when you walked in from the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to be happy at the end of every day. You're getting rid of people's pain.
Oh yeah, when you see the smile on these patients' face when you've helped them out, you know, like you said, we've had patients who have come in on walkers and leave, you know, walking. When you see that type of relief with patients, it's absolutely amazing. You can't help but smile. I mean, it's incredible what you're seeing on a day-to-day patient or day-to-day level at the clinic. And so I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to help people in my community and, you know, get out the word about stem cells so more people have access to it.
All right, we got about 10 seconds left in this episode, in this segment. When we come back from our last segment, Dr. Cohn is going to be joined by somebody that I think you'll thoroughly enjoy hearing from. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
There's one bee that loves going to the dentist. I am Dr. B.
At Dr. B Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the individuality of each child
And they also teach us how to take care of our teeth.
and offer an exceptional and gentle dental care experience for all children. With our laser procedures, we are able to provide gentler treatments and faster healing time.
Come meet Dr. B.
I'll be calorie-free.
Call Dr. B's Pediatric Dentistry today.
Hi, my name is Mike Banner, and in addition to being the host of the 62 Who Knew television show, I am also the president of Professional Mortgage Alliance, where our passion is helping seniors entering retirement purchase their dream retirement home without the obligation of a monthly principal and interest payment. Please call me at 727-224-3859 or visit my website at professionalmortgagealliance.com.
My name is Ann Rogers, and I'm a real estate agent and broker in Pinellas County and have been for over 24 years. Ann Rogers Relocation Resources provides a full array of services to help you or your loved one transition gracefully to a new residence or adult living community. Our first consultation is free and with no obligation. Please visit our website or call to talk to me directly.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie Kennedy, your real estate expert here in the Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton area. I spent years developing myself, studying the industry so I can serve you and communicate with you the best way possible in your real estate transaction. My phone number is 941-807-2054, or please visit my website at lisamariekennedy.com.
Access.
We're live, and we were talking, so we have to look and make believe that we're natural. How are you doing? All right, so we are back. We still have Dr. Jason Cohn. We have brought in Miss Letty Underhill. Again, it's very rare that we actually can bring someone on, you know, not just really for a testimonial. Yours is a strange testimonial because you worked there. And when you worked, well, you still work there, but when you were working there, if I understand the scenario, you had your own discomfort and issues. You had not tried stem cell therapy, but you were a technician applying the therapy. And the words, again, that you said to me when we were off camera, well, before the show even started, was, you know, I was watching people come in with their walker. And again, this gives me the chills. And watching them walk out without it, that you decided to try the therapy yourself. So tell us a little bit of your story, please.
Yeah.
Don't start like when you were born. How you got there and what made you decide to not just be an employee, but a patient.
Well, I was working for knee and neuropathy centers. I was doing therapy there, and like I said, like you said, patients would come in and I'd be helping them out of their chair, literally into their walker, going to the next therapy session. And then they would come in and get the stem cells, and then they're walking down the hallway themselves, no problem, getting out of the chair. It's amazing.
Well, with each patient, it is going to vary.
Yeah.
So it will vary from patient to patient, but we usually notice, you know, results within the first, 4 to 6 weeks with patients. So they come in for their initial consult. You know, sometimes, like she says, in the walker, wheelchair, something like that. The next time we see them, you know, on their next checkup, they're coming in and they're walking in, and it's absolutely mind blowing.
Oh,
Are you the same person? It's like it's like hard to even recognize.
Are people like adding you in the will and things like that, going, this is it? I want you to have a piece of the house, the stocks, the bonds, the 401k.
I've been in talks with people, but nobody's actually officially wrote me in.
You don't know that yet, because you're keeping them alive.
Keeping them going, keeping them going. My job is to keep them upright.
Well, and again, obviously there might be viewers that go, she's biased, she works there.
Yeah.
But how has this truly affected your life? Has the pain gone from a 10 to a 5, from a 10 to a 0? Tell us.
10 to a 0.
That's just, that's amazing.
I know, it's crazy. It is crazy, but that's why we like going to work every day. I mean, really, really, really is crazy. I did an IV, 2 cc IV.
Now that's different, an IV, than the way you normally do it.
Yes, and so with with stem cells.
Yeah, what is the normal way?
So with stem cells, we have 2 ways of basically applying them or using them with patients. One of the ways is an interarticular injection. So that's a joint injection.
That's
so
what
we're
I
doing
thought.
it straight into a joint, knee, hip, shoulder, something like that. With more systemic issues. So if you're having issues throughout the body, or if you're having like an autoimmune issue that's affecting you kind of all over, or an internal organ issue, well, the way to get to those issues is to actually go through IV. And so with her, because she had a few other issues along with some musculoskeletal issues, we felt the best way for her to, get the most benefit was through an IV. So
and it obviously worked.
Oh.
And you make that decision, obviously in your as you're ascertaining what everything's wrong.
So when you come in, the process is going to go, when you make an appointment and you come into the clinic, you're going to sit down with one of our doctors. We usually schedule 30-minute appointments. So you're going to have 30 minutes to sit down and discuss what's going on with your body with the doctor, and really see, what's going wrong. So he's going to do a variety of different tests with you. He'll talk with you. He's going to see, what issues are bothering you and what he feels is his best recommendations in terms of the areas to get the injections and how much in terms of the amount of stem cells should be injected in each one of those areas to get you the best results possible.
Tell us about your experience. I mean, obviously you're out of pain. You're very happy.
Yes.
Do you have to continue with the treatment to be out of pain, or once it's gone, it's gone?
No, it's a regenerative process. So it's actually getting down there to the causation of it and allowing it to regenerate those tissues. But Letty can kind of explain, her
go ahead. I mean, you're a
circumstances.
technician there. You help people with this. Tell us, You know, we still have a fair amount of time left.
Well, I was like 6 weeks out, and I could cross my legs for the first time in 4 years. My hip was bothering me quite bad, and so was my lower back. But I was so excited about my hip feeling so much better, I totally forgot about my back, and now it feels fantastic. So I have absolutely no pain at all.
And the original IV treatment helped your hip and your back, or was it two
Both.
separate things? I mean, two separate treatments, but that treatment actually helped regenerate cells, if I'm saying it correctly, or strengthen existing cells in your hip and your back.
Right, one treatment.
And you had what, neuropathy in those two areas, or what was it?
No, I just had
it was arthritis.
inflammation.
Oh, it was arthritis. Okay.
Arthritis, which is basically joint inflammation. She was having joint inflammation in those areas, which was affecting basically her ability to do certain tasks, and like so bending, lifting, twisting.
Anything with your hip and your back. That's everything in life. It's getting out of the car. It's everything.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep on my side.
Of course.
You know, cross my legs, like I said, and now I can. I mean, it's total freedom. It's just no pain whatsoever.
Just while this is on my mind, because I have a few very great friends who suffer from this, is there any hope with stem cell therapy of helping people with rheumatoid arthritis, the most terrible part about it?
Yes. That's actually what they're utilizing with the IV. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune issue that affects you a variety across your whole entire body. It jumps from joint to joint. It could be in your elbow one day, your finger the next day, your knee, the next week. And so really with that, where do you inject them? You're chasing the joints. So actually what we found is that with the IV on those patients, it affects them more systemically. It helps your immune system begin to actually combat it. And that's what actually helps lower your symptoms and things like that. So it's really effective with helping with rheumatoid arthritis and other systemic issues.
If you catch your rheumatoid arthritis early enough and go for stem cell, can you prevent it from going further? I mean, and then of course the next question has to be, if somebody is already very badly affected, and can it reverse it?
It's different from patient to patient. It's really how your body responds to it. It has been shown to help people with severe RA symptoms, as well as helping people with mild symptoms not let it progress and get worse. So really across the board, it can help you with the RA. It really depends on how inflammatory is it, how often are you experiencing the symptoms, what's your overall health, and things like that. So there's some underlying factors to depend on what type of relief you're going to see, but no matter how severe you are or how beginner stage it is, it's something that can help with it.
Do you see in the future, as you guys grow, obviously everybody has their aches and pains, so I understand why you're doing a stem cell therapy for the joints and the muscles. Do you ever see, as we were discussing with our friend from the Weizmann Institute, you expanding into other parts of stem cell therapy? I know it's been known to help Parkinson's disease, and the list just goes on and on. Do you see ever, if a doctor came to you and said, look, I specialize in Parkinson's, you guys have the stem cells, are you guys open to that? Because I hope there's doctors listening and going, my God, I need to be part of this.
Of course. We are always willing to work with doctors across the board. We want to give the best care available to these patients. And so co-managing these patients with other doctors is always something that we're willing to do. So it doesn't matter, what doctor you are across the board. If you think a patient is somebody who can benefit from stem cells, give them our number. Our number is, up on the screen. They can give us a call. We're more than willing to sit down and talk with you about their case and see whether or not this is something that stem cells can potentially help with.
Are you getting more doctor-to-doctor conversations probably as you get older?
Oh, yes.
More, not you older, the company.
Oh, yes. There are tons of doctors who are intrigued. One of the ways that we get, in contact with most of them is a patient will come to us. We do therapy on them. They get such great results. They go back to their treating doctor, their GP, whoever it may be. They're explaining about, their miraculous relief. And next thing we know, that doctor's calling us saying, hey, I got some other patients that I've been working with or using some certain medications on who isn't seeing the results I'm looking for. Is there any way that you'd be able to see this patient or work with this patient? So we actually work with a lot of different doctors, a lot of different, co-managing with patients and things like that.
I would think chiropractors, spinal surgeries.
Everything. I mean, the major things that we're seeing is, orthopedic surgeons with people who are needing joint replacements, like a knee replacement, hip replacement, things like that. But for some other reason, they're not a candidate for surgery. Whether the surgeon says, hey, I just don't feel like this is an appropriate time, like you're too young or you're too heavy set, where the surgery might not give you the benefits you're looking for, they're using this as an alternative to that. We have patients who can't get surgery for a variety of different reasons, whether it be the medications you're on and things like that, that disqualify them from other procedures. And so they're also coming to us, for that alternative means to help.
We have a little less than 2 minutes left, and I want you, if this is too long of an answer, say, Michael, we got to do this on another show.
Okay.
As you know, I'm sure you know, you're a doctor. Part of the side effects from people getting chemo is neuropathy. Can this type of therapy help that?
Yes, in a short answer. This is definitely something that we're going to need, for another show. But stem cells have been shown to help with a variety of different conditions. They can heal and repair and replace a variety of different cells. One of those cells are nerve cells, so it can potentially, help.
And that
with
would probably
condition.
be the drip, since the neuropathy is everywhere from the chemo.
It depends on what the causation is.
Right.
Just because there's neuropathy from, like you said, chemotherapy. There's diabetic neuropathy. There's idiopathic neuropathy. So there's a variety of different causations of the neuropathy, and it really depends on what's causing it to determine the best route to help you out with that.
We have a little less than a minute left. I want to do a couple of different messages. Letty, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Not only for being a guest, but just for being what you are.
Thank you.
Helping people every day. You, young man, just a pleasure. All my guests, well, no, a couple of my guests have been older, but most of my guests have been younger. With about 30 seconds left, I want to thank everybody so much for being here. I want to thank him. We got about 30 seconds exactly left. I was just told in my right ear. I want to thank everybody for last week's show. As most of you know, I waited 8 weeks to have a discussion about reverse mortgages, because that's my passion. I hope that people liked it. We did have a record amount of listeners. Thank you so much. Go to the 62 Who Knew website if you have any questions on long-term care, in-home care, what we just discussed today. We have 5 seconds left. Thank you so much. We're taking next week off. Have a happy Labor Day. Bye.
Perfect.